You're about to learn how to craft a Chaga chai superfood elixir. My name is Malcolm Saunders, and this is by far one of the greatest elixirs that can be the most well-received. I don't know about you, but sometimes I start talking medicinal mushrooms and herbs and elixirs. Sometimes it goes way over people's heads. They don't know where to start, what to do. This is a crowd favorite. It is delicious, and it is highly effective. You're going to be feeling good. Your immune system is going to be functioning optimally, all with this wonderful Chaga chai. And it is so simple to make. Now, the base is our Chaga chai that we blend here in-house. This was a chai mix that I had been making for years. My wife and I, we first traveled to India when we first met, way back when, and I fell in love with chai. I was in love with it before I went to India and fell even more in love with it when I was there. And it has always been a staple in our household. I love the flavors. There's such a synergy, such an alchemy with those healing Ayurvedic spices like ginger, like cinnamon, cardamom. Absolutely fantastic. So I've always sought out different types of chai. Haven't always loved the black tea. The caffeine doesn't always work for me. So I was really excited when I came up with this idea to then use chaga mushroom as the base. Now, medicinal mushrooms are getting a lot of attention right now, and for good reason. These are absolute fantastic medicine, primarily for the immune system, right? They are immunomodulators, meaning can help bring your immune system into balance. If you have an overactive immune system, help bring it down. Underactive, help bring it up. Chaga is fantastic for that. And this is helping myself and my family stay healthy year-round, especially in those cold winter months where colds and flus are going around. Chaga chai is a go-to for us. It's always on the stove. So finally turn this into a blend to make it more accessible just beyond my house and to guests I would have over. And it's super simple, very easy to make. You need 2 to 3 tablespoons of the mix. And if you want to create your own, you can work with the chaga tea pieces. You know, add in cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, clove, however you like to build your chai mixes. I've got black pepper. I added a little spice in there called Grains of Paradise. This is a unique one. This is one that was widely distributed and traded during the spice trades of old, and it kind of fell out a little bit of favor, which is unfortunate because it is a fantastic tasting herb, but also has those great circulatory properties like ginger and cinnamon do. So I included that in there as well. So it's a very nice, well-rounded blend, of which you just need 2 to 3 tablespoons per liter of water. So I've got a batch here brewed up, ready to go. This is the second brewing. So as you're making these teas, I want you to keep in mind that the same 2 to 3 tablespoons that you start with, you can rebrew that 2, 3, sometimes even 4 times. And what we'll do, so I've got my tea here, I brewed it up. I'll pour that off, either just with a ladle, just like that, or if it's a pot that will actually pour, take that through a strainer, just like I'm doing here. Maybe that's all I need. Put the herb back in there, back on the stove, warm that again or not. But now I've got my tea, that's ready to go, nice and warm. And once I finish this pot, right, then I can actually add more water, rebrew that, take the volume down by using it, drinking it, enjoying it, add more water, rebrew it. So that first initial couple tablespoons that you put in, rebrew that 2 or 3 times. Like keep adding water, rebrewing it. You'll notice they get a little bit weaker. Maybe by the 4th time, not as much flavor. Now, if you have it out, if you're like me and our family, we kind of keep this on the stove. We're always rebrewing it. When it gets weak and it comes time to add more herb, we'll just add it to what's already in there. You don't need to throw away the old spices. They can just continue to be in the mix, and you continue to rebrew that and keep extracting as much as you can from that. Now, great thing about this chai mix here, it's actually very antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral, that it resists fermenting. It doesn't go off. So you can have the same pot of chaga chai, going on your stove out at room temperature easily 1 week, 2 weeks without it fermenting or going funky. Some teas, obviously, you want to use within a couple of days or store them in the fridge. With the chaga, with these spices, not a big deal. You can continually rebrew it, just have it on your counter. Now that ratio, 2 to 3 tablespoons of herb to 1 liter of water, you can do less water, have it stronger. You can do more water, have it weaker. Same as with the ratio. You could do 1 tablespoon, 3 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons. So just play with that. But I find 3 tablespoons per liter as great. And you bring it up to a boil, you turn it down, and then you let it simmer. And the longer it simmers, it begins to pull and extract all the good medicine and all the good flavor into the tea. Now that's going to be your base. Now we just got that aside. Next, since we're making a chai latte, right? The nice creamy, rich chai that we all know and love, we can add a milk to that, if that's a dairy milk or a cream or almond milk, coconut milk, whatever you have in the house, you can work with that. One thing that I absolutely love and I use in almost all my elixirs is coconut butter. Now with the coconut butter, all you need is a tablespoon. So if you're making an 8 ounce, 12 ounce, or even a 16 ounce glass and you want to turn it into a latte, you want to give it that creaminess, coconut butter is the way to go. A tablespoon, boom, in it goes. You blend it up and it instantly creams it. Now one of the benefits to that is you've got a nice warm tea here, adding everything to the blender. Sometimes, you go to the fridge, you get the milk, you pour that in. It can cool off the overall drink. Your elixir becomes, more warm versus a nice hot elixir. Now with coconut butter, it's not coming out the fridge. It's not cold liquid. You can add it straight in, won't drop the temperature of your overall elixir, and you've just got a nice, rich, creamy end result. So let me grab a spoon here. And we're going to do 1 tablespoon of coconut butter into the elixir. Now you'll notice I've got my tea separated aside. I'm going to add that last, at the end. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm making drinks, smoothies, and oftentimes you'll end up with powder around the edge. This way, if you put all your ingredients in the blender first and then tea on top, you'll never have to scrape the sides. You'll always be good that way. All right, next ingredient, I'm going to add a little bit of sweetener. I love honey. That's one of my favorite choice sweeteners. Now, this is really where it comes customizable to you. You can do a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. If you really want a nice sweet like they do in India, it could be a tablespoon. You add that in just to the right amount. There's other options, of course. You could use maple syrup. You could use stevia. Another herb I like is called monk fruit or lohan guao. This is from Dragon Herbs. It's called sweet fruit drops. And it's similar to stevia that it doesn't spike the blood sugar. And it's a low glycemic sweetener. We can just add in a couple of drops of that, and it's got, I think, a much better flavor and properties than stevia does. Another ingredient we're going to use here is called lucuma. Lucuma, that's a fruit from South America. It's in fact a relative of the avocado that adds a nice little bit of creaminess, some fiber, and a little bit of sweetness. Being a fruit, it's been just dried and powdered. And we can just add, a teaspoon to a tablespoon of that in there. Again, play with that ratio, and in that goes. And what that's going to do, add just that extra little bit of sweetness, extra little bit of creaminess, and helps emulsify some of the liquid and fat together. So in we go. Now we put the rest of our tea in there, into the blender. These are all proportions for about 12 ounces of tea. Now, into the blender, turn that on. Give it a nice, good blend. Bring all the ingredients, the flavors together. And we're ready to go. All right, cheers. You've got your superfood Chaga chai elixir. Perfect.